Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to talk a little bit about insecurities and specifically insecurities that I have personally gone through. And the point with this video is that I hope someone young will find this, or why not same age as me, who just hasn't gotten over these insecurities the same way I have. But the point is that I want to help people who can relate to better be able to get through and to deal with these insecurities if they have any of the ones I'm going to mention. Now, I intend to make this video sort of a more general, shorter video about these issues that I'm going to list, and then I will make separate videos about some of the ones that I mention in this video where I feel like I have to go more into detail and I should just isolate those topics and focus on them on separate videos. But anyway, I have a small list that I made that I was able to come up with when I was thinking, what was I insecure about? I remember some things really easily, but maybe there's some that I am not remembering, though I think it's quite easy even at the age of 30 to remember what you used to be insecure about when you were a teenager and in your early 20s, because insecurities are so strong because they are associated with shame. And I remember reading one time on the good old internet that the feeling of shame can be compared to physical pain, in that we human beings want to avoid shame even more than physical pain. That's how bad it is. And insecurities are often about shame. So that's why I remember pretty well what I used to go through, what I used to deal with when I was younger, and now I don't really just give a shit about. So this is in no particular order, this list of mine, but I'll just start from the top that I remember was like the first one. The first one I remember, I was probably 13 or 14 or something like that when I first started to be aware of this. This would be having sweaty hands. Sweaty hands, anyone? And this obviously has to do with when you fantasize about finding a girlfriend. And in the Finnish high school, for example, we have a dance where you pick a partner and then you dance with them. Multiple different dances. You go through multiple different dances with the girl. So I was really insecure about my sweaty hands. And like I said, I'm only gonna mention these briefly so that I save some time on this video, and I'm gonna talk about this separately. I think I'm gonna make a hand video separately because the next one on my list is small hands. Anyone? As a man, I don't even know where to start. Like, as a man, I think it's obvious why as a man it sucks so much. It sucks so bad to have small hands, and I was really insecure about it at one point. I think I was actually insecure about the size of my hands in my 20s, whereas the sweaty hands wasn't a problem when I was in my teenage years. Because in my 20s I started to lift weight, and that's when I started to realize that people have different size bones and arms and hands and feet and everything. And I came across that when I was looking into powerlifting, and I was looking into people gripping the bar, and there's something called the death grip. The death grip is when you grab the bar and you put your thumb under your index and middle finger so that these squeeze your thumb against the bar, and it sort of locks your thumb so that your thumb cannot slide off, because your thumb is pretty much your weakest link when you're lifting, doing deadlifts, for example, with the bar. So I wasn't able to do this with the bar because my hand is too small. That's when I was like, fuck man, I have small hands. And oh boy, when you get into that one, and then you realize that, oh my god, girls like bigger masculine hands and all this fucking bullshit. So I'm gonna talk about this and the sweaty hands in a separate video because it's pretty stupid, but also there are things that, well, you can't change the size of your bones, but you can actually learn about how your hand sweatiness works, because there's a lot to it, really. But it's fucking stupid, and I hate it that these are actually things that young men have to worry about, because I know I'm not the only one. But anyway, on to the next one. My next one would be my skin. So I have a condition, to make matters worse with the hands. This isn't on my hands, but it's related to my arms. I have a skin condition called keratosis pilaris, and it's basically having red little bumps on your arms. It makes your skin rough, and it also makes it like, it has these spots, these red spots, a lot of tiny red spots. And this is something that was killing me mentally when I was, once again, 13, 14, when they appeared on my arms. I thought I was so fucking hideous. And once again, something that you stop caring about. Once again, something that you learn you can treat to an extent, but never fully. And then you accept that you have them and you don't just care. And you understand that girls also don't fucking care. But anyway, maybe I'll make a skin one, because I also had pimples and zits, you know? So maybe I'll make a skin one separately. Like, I'm trying to think about the video series as I make this video. So maybe like a hand video and then a skin video. All right, the next one, not having a jawline. And this is something that maybe you can't see it so well because now I have some beard and maybe my jaw is a bit better than it was. But when I was a teenager, and I'm trying to show my profile here. When I was a teenager, oh my fucking God, my jawline. Like, I was a bit more fat than now with less muscle and everything. So like this part of my chin had zero definition. It just blended into my neck. And I think it would be the same now almost, but I have the beard. And then also my chin here is quite small. It's not like super duper small. It could be worse. But I think when I was younger, it was worse, like way worse. Maybe also because I was a mouth breather. I was breathing with my mouth and not my nose, which affects the chin as well. So that was fucking awful when I was a teenager. Now it's better. And to make matters worse, I actually couldn't grow a beard to save my life. And it's still not very good. Like, my beard does not grow that well. It's getting better and better every year, but I'm fucking 30, dude. There's people who can grow a beard when they're 18. And I only recently, in the recent years, it's gotten better. But in my whole 20s, I was so desperate to have a beard and I just couldn't grow one. So that was also making me, I had like this tiny patch of facial hair here and then like here. And I was desperately trying to grow it and I felt really fucking bad about not having a beard. All right, so that's jawline and beard. Next one, not having a very low voice. This is also something that I used to speak with a more high-pitched voice because I was using my head voice and not my chest voice. I think those are the terms you can use. And I learned to use my chest voice more, so now I sound better. And I don't really give a fuck anymore. I don't really have a problem with this anymore. But for a long time I had, and I felt so unmasculine about it. And I was worried about it. Obviously worried because of girls again. And these days my girlfriend is like saying, oh, I love your voice so much. And I'm like, okay, nice. Fuck yeah. I mean, I believe her. I'm not a fan of my voice myself, but I'll take it. And I don't think, like, I don't have that high of a voice compared to some other people. But yeah, that was also a problem I had. Also an insecurity I have. And then there's two more on my list. And this fucking video is already like 10 minutes long and I was gonna make this like 5 minutes. This is why I need separate videos for some of these. Dry eyes. This is actually recent. This is not in my teenage years and not in my 20s. This is in my fucking late 20s and 30s. I get dry eyes, especially in the winter, and I get dry eyes in the middle of meetings. I'm dealing with people and I get dry eyes and I start to look like I'm about to cry. And that affects my, like, it feels like crying. You're not emotionally feeling like crying. You're not sad. You're not upset. But you feel physically like crying because you're so dry in the eyes. And that actually makes you feel upset a little bit. Like, it turns you into, you're not upset at all, but then the physical sensation makes you a little bit upset about acknowledging and realizing that, fuck man, my eyes are getting teary and I look like I'm crying in the meeting on like Teams, in a Teams meeting. So that's something I've had to deal recently. And it's really fucking annoying because basically what it does is I go into a meeting and I'm all confident and all, you know, I go to the meeting and I'm super confident. I feel great. And then my eyes start to get watery. And then I start to think about it like, oh no, oh no, oh no. And that makes everything just snowball. And I've learned to deal with it recently by just learning that when you have dry eyes, you should look someplace like afar, like out of my window, and just like move my eyes and blink more and all that shit. But it's something that really caught me off guard. And I don't know, I don't think I'm gonna make a different video. I don't think I'm gonna make a separate video about this, but it was worth mentioning. It's something I've recently dealt with. And would be interesting to, like, I want to hear in the comments from people, what are your insecurities? Do you relate to any of these? And do you have something I don't mention here? All right, then one last one. Crying easily. Being a sensitive man. Being an emotional man. I'm the type that I watch a movie or an anime even or something like that. And especially in the mornings, and this is weird, I don't know why it is, but maybe something to do with hormones, probably. I'm the type that can just start crying easily. I don't start sobbing and bawling my eyes out, but I don't start sobbing and crying hysterically, but I get tears in my eyes and I feel genuinely like crying and I have to hold my cry. And the same thing happened when my friend got married in Vietnam recently, in January. And they were having the ceremony with him and his wife. And I saw the wife was obviously starting to cry. And my friend was like remaining stoic and didn't show that he was feeling sentimental or anything sensitive or anything like that, emotional. But I was in the crowd. I was one of the guests and I was just looking at them and I was like, I had to seriously hold myself. Like, I had to seriously fight to not cry. I was so close to crying, man. And that's something that I think a lot of being confident and a lot of being masculine, a lot of being stoic, a lot of it, in my opinion, comes down to accepting yourself as who you are and trying to be stronger and trying to be better, but accepting that it's okay to be the way that you are. Because the fact is that some of us are more emotional than others. So you have to own it. So I think, like, if I try to not be emotional and if I try too hard to fight it, and if I don't carry it with me with like pride and confidence, if I don't own that part of myself, then that's gonna be something everyone can see and everyone can just sense from the energy I have that I am not confident. If, for example, let's say that I cried in that wedding ceremony, and if I was trying to hide it, well, now I was trying to hide it, I was trying to hold crying, but if I couldn't stop it and I cried, and somebody mentioned it to me, then I should just be like, yeah, I'm a fucking crybaby, dude. I'm so emotional, dude. And I would just like accept it and be fine with it and laugh at it. That would be cool. But if I was like, no, I didn't cry, what are you talking about? Like trying to just push it, like trying to swipe it under a rug and like pretend it didn't happen, I think that would be not confident and that would not be admirable. So anyway, this video is longer than I thought it was going to be. It fucking got dark outside as I was filming this. The sun went down like ding 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 while I was recording this. So anyway, that's it for this video, and like I said, I'm gonna make a hand insecurity video and a skin insecurity video, and I don't know if anything else. Maybe about masculinity, being insecure about not being masculine enough. I think that would be a good one. I think that would be maybe a good one. Being skinny or fat or whatever. I haven't really been either, but yeah, I don't know. But I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. If you did, please subscribe, please like, and all that bullshit. And let me know in the comments about your insecurities. What do you think? Did you relate to anything, and do you have something I didn't list here? And I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching this. Bye bye.